Hello, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. Today I want to talk about feminism at the cinema. The propagandists that are conducting social engineering programs have been doing so using mass media. What am I doing? I'm doing anti-social engineering programs using mass media. It's not hard to figure out their game. So let's look at what's gone on. They've used the invention of radio to spread information. How long did it take before they used that in a war, right, in World War II, to spread propaganda? Hello, Tokyo Rose. Hello, Jane Fonda, right? They've used movies to start introducing concepts into people's minds immediately. That is, they were telling stories that were allegorical in nature, that were analogous to real life, so that they could start controlling people's behavior, influencing them. Corporations discovered right away that they could advertise and get people to buy their products because they appeared in movies, fashion, language. Everything is influenced by mass media. So why is it that social engineering shouldn't do the same thing? Well, they do, and they have. And that is the way they have hoodwinked. That is exactly how those social engineers have brought feminism into our faces and into our lives and changed the very fabric of our culture. They've broken the foundations of our culture, which is that men are men and should be respected as individuals, and that women are creatures that men want. They are the prize, the reward, the booty, right? And for what women have, men want it. And for what men have, women should want it. And that they work together. They've got us so fucked up and behind the gun now, gentlemen, that for the most part, we don't even want women anymore. That is a big part of MGTOW, going your own way. For a lot of us, it's completely getting rid of women, right? And that's the monk that's out there. Then there are others who are just pumping them, dumping them. Then there are others who are saying, look, I want to have a relationship with a woman. I want a good woman. How do I find them? How do I know? You know, how do I test them? Is it worth the risk? You know, how do I figure out women? How do I pick a good one? I mean, there's all these different levels. But in every instance that a man goes about dealing with women now, he has to face feminism. Because it's not women that are the enemy. It's the philosophical principle behind their behavior now, which is feminine. It is feminist. And it's actually anti-feminist, but that's a semantic game, right? That's where sophistry has been used to trick everyone. They're not feminists. I think I called them female masculists because they want women to act like men and they want men to stop acting like men, and they use their various techniques which have been discussed ad nauseum: shame, guilt, right? Sense of duty, the white knight, that is. They use every game known to man to get man to give up his rights to be a man and submit to women. So feminism in movies. I just watched with my sons the other night Jack Reacher 2, the new Jack Reacher movie. And at his prior command in DC, the new major in charge is a woman. And the movie starts out with him occasionally calling her and promising that he's going to come meet her, and they develop some little twisted romantic vision of each other, and then he gets there and she's arrested and yada yada yada. Oh, by the way, I may be a spoiler for this movie. The spoiler is Jack Reacher kicks everyone's ass. The good guy wins. But throughout the movie, it is laced with feminist bullshit. I almost walked out of the movie about halfway through it And at 2/3 of the movie, I had to restrain myself. And I thought, if not for anything other than my sons and the educational value of watching this dribble, I'm gonna, I would leave if it weren't for that, if it weren't for my kids being entertained. And I'll tell you what, when we got to the truck, sat the kids down and said, hey kids, you like the movie? They're like, yeah, Dad, it's a pretty good movie. It was worth watching. I go, what didn't you like about it? Both of them. Bam. Dad, all the woman bullshit. There was too much. They are now putting copious amounts of feminism in men's action movies. This is not a chick flick. This isn't St. Elmo's Fire. This isn't some, it was not that type of movie. It's a man movie full of feminist crap. And one of my least favorite versions, entrees of crap that I'm fed by propagandas like movies, is the tough chick propaganda. The tough chick propaganda. That a woman can kick a man's ass. And I know that a woman can blindside a man just as quickly as a man can blindside a man. If she doesn't have adequate force and power, that is energy in her blow, she's not going to knock the guy out. Same with men, but women are not as strong as men, period. End of discussion. With very few and rare exceptions, women don't know how to punch. It's not just how big you are or how heavy you are. You have to know how to punch in order for a punch to be effective. I can't tell you how many times I've been hit where I just started fucking laughing. Because I'm 270 pounds and I'm 6'6". That is why any of you white knights out there don't stand a chance with me. I'm an ex-Marine. You don't stand a chance with me. You want to gang up on me, you're all going to go to the hospital. Probably with holes in you. Okay, there's just that level of resistance from real men. And white knights don't understand it because white knights are effeminate men. And given a taste of pain, they back off in a hurry. You want to call me a misogynist? Get the fuck out of here, right? Okay, so let's look at this feminism in movies. What is it doing, though? It's teaching women that they can be tough. Because for 99% of women out there, the type of battle they engage in against men is a verbal battle. They talk shit. A real woman doesn't talk shit to a man. Only feminists talk shit to a man. Only feminists do. And depending on whether you're a little feminist or a big feminist, that dictates the quality of the language that's used and the skill that's used to put men down. But they're all feminists. That is, they're all working for evil. I know real women exist because I know them. And they're few and far between. And when you spend time with a real woman, when you spend time with them, you see what a woman should be. Now, all of the real women, except for the one I know now, were from my earlier life. My grandmother, right? My aunt, my friend's wife, my friend being, he was 50 and I was 20. He's got a docile, submissive wife that loves him and takes care of him, never leave him, right? Bob and Shirley, great women. They knew their place. They loved their place. They were proud to have that place. They loved their man. They took care of their man. Essentially, they were a slave to him. A slave, did everything he said, never argued. Offered her opinion, and then that was it. Real women, guys, they're out there, but they're rare. Why? Because the girls today, the reason women are so rare is because feminists are converting them into zombies with push-up bras. Right? They're hordes of vampires coming after us because they've been indoctrinated from a very early age to think they are the same as men. So in these movies, you're going to see some tough girls getting punched. Jack Reacher was great. Every time she tried standing up to one of these extreme killers, right, that even Jack Reacher has a hard time killing, she got pummeled and thrown against the wall, and she got hit and thrown against the wall, but she kept getting up. People don't get up after getting hit like that. It's the movies, but it's teaching women you can take a punch. And, there's the obligatory, the woman takes one of the bad guys out with a great punch or a kick or something, and then she gets to say the clever good guy line. It's teaching women to be like men and that they can, when in truth they cannot. A woman can pull a trigger on a gun, that's a great equalizer, but beyond that, they're in big fucking trouble. But the movies don't teach them that. Now, violence notwithstanding in movies, what is mostly taught is for women to talk shit at men. Feminism in movies teaches women to talk shit about men and to men and at men. From flipping them off to calling them names. Yesterday I had one more example. I was at a store. There is a clerk at the store. And she is not a nice person. And every time I go in there, she's got to square up with me. And I put her in her place several times. And she tried it again yesterday. Except she is wearing down. And I know what's going to happen. She had to say something. So I turned around. I said, do you want to stand up to me? Do you want a piece of this? And I didn't mean that in a physical way. It was not a physical confrontation. It was a verbal confrontation. And she looked at me and she didn't say a fucking word. Why not? Because I have continuously told her in no uncertain terms that she's a woman and that she doesn't talk to me that way. But she keeps trying. The reason she keeps trying is because she wants her feminist games to work. She wants to dominate me. She wants me to try hard to want her, and I don't. There is nothing attractive about her. What's going to end up happening, though, is she's going to get mad that she's lost. She's going to get her feelings hurt. And she's probably going to complain to the store owner or someone else about me. And then I'm going to have a discussion with the store owner, who happens to be a friend of mine. I don't need to go running to him and say, get your bitches in line at the store. I know what's going to happen. I've seen this play out several times. But this happens all the time. These women are watching these movies, and they're learning that the more they bitch and piss and moan at men, and the expectation is men have to back down, and men do because they just don't want the confrontation. What's the point? Well, the point is they're overrunning men with feminist propaganda and then feminist horseshit that comes out of their mouths. These are no longer women we're dealing with. They're pseudo-masculine creatures with tits. We need to take the fight to them, I say. Stop apologizing for being a man. We understand where everything's coming from. It's coming from the movies, from TVs, from magazines, from the education system. But it can be defeated. And I'm demonstrating it on a daily basis in my life. But what have women learned? Don't mess with John. So they'll immediately turn their venom on the next man that walks by. Beat him down, watch him hang his head, trying to get away from him. Ah! Right? As a result, they aren't dissuaded. They're just learning who they can't mess with. For me, that's good in my life because I've put it down and I've kept it down. But I'm watching what's going on to men around me, and they need to stop it. They need to stop kowtowing and stop apologizing. That is becoming an aggravation for me. So I also say, when you see a man getting beat down, step in for him. Back that man. Back your fucking brother. These chicks, they'll come after you in a group. I've gone after groups of chicks. I can't remember if I've shared this story or not. But walking into a group of my ex-wife's friends in the kitchen, and they're all sitting around the island talking and yakking, and I walk up and go, hey, this is my house. I've got the penis around here. And they go nuts. They go nuts. And you can do it again and again, day after day, and just tell them, I got the penis. And they get so mad because they want to have a penis and they can't. Their usual response is, you're not the boss. And I go, I didn't say who the boss is. I said, I've got the penis. And I look at them and I point at them all. Any of you got a penis? No. I said, good. Then we know where we stand, don't we? And by that time, my wife would be fucking irate with me. Stop messing with them. Stop harassing them. Right? Yeah, you get out of here. Go back outside. Don't you have something to do in the garage? I go, yeah, I'm going to do man stuff. Right? I give them some bullshit and off I toddle. We've got to stop backing down to feminism or it's dead. Do what you can, guys. Starve them out. Starve them of the attention. Starve them of your resources. Right? These feminists need to be destroyed. Starving is one way. I prefer to attack them head on when I see them. Starve them also. I mean, don't mistake me. I don't put them in their place and then shower them with love and goodies and little candies and flowers. And I don't give them a bouquet of unicorn heads filled with helium on sticks. I don't do that to them. I don't give them the attention they want. I give them the negative attention they don't want. And if they just want to be stupid, then I walk off. I give them the sullen silence. I give them some of their own medicine there, But of course, you're going to be called a sexist, a bigot, you're going to be a fucking xenophobe, you're going to be a misogynist, you're going to be all of those things. Well, if you're watching this channel, you probably already are. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of with these gaggles of hags out there? Because when you strip away their clown costume, all of their makeup, their hot girl disguises, you strip all that away, they are ugly people. They're ugly people, these feminists. And you strip all of that away, all they are is a sex toy. And if you want a sex toy, you can buy yourself a real nice silicone doll. You can go to a whorehouse, right? You can do a number of things to take care of those needs you have without giving in to the feminists. There are good women out there. They're born every day, but they're being transformed. They're being transformed like zombies into these creatures that we can't hardly recognize and that are unwantable at this point. And it doesn't matter how young and pretty they are. It doesn't matter how much money they make, if they make any at all. They probably didn't. It's probably someone else's money they stole. You've got to recognize them for what they are. Feminism is the enemy, and the adherents of feminism are the enemy of our culture and of men in general. All right, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. Get out there and get it done. Feminism in the movies. Use your ability on an individual basis, and if you've got the ability to use mass media, give it back to them. Right? Take the fight to the enemy. Semper Fi.